Hi, so welcome back in my channel. So in this video we are going to see how to download Anaconda and how to use how to launch Jupyter notebook from the Anaconda. And this same technique that we are going to use to launch Jupyter notebook, you can also use it to launch R in using Anaconda basically. So the first thing to do is to install Anaconda. So to do that, you just go on Google, you type Anaconda, which is there, is anaconda.com. You have this website. So it depends on when you are watching this video. The website may look different, but you go on get started here. You're going to find, doesn't matter the structure of the website, you're going to look for download Anaconda installer. So when you get the download Anaconda installer, you double click on that, and then it gives you this option. So there's many options depending on the operating system that you are using. You have an option for Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux. So in this case, I'm using the Mac OS, and you can follow the same step if you are using the Windows operating system, just how to download the Windows version. There's 64-bit and 32 gigabit. I'm not going to give an explanation which one to choose, but you can always check that on the next video. I will give more information on which version is better. But for the Mac OS, it's only one option here. So we're going to use for the 64 gigabit graphical installer. So if you click on that, it's going to start downloading here. So but I already have that. I'm not going to spend time again downloading this. I give you some time to download that. When you have that ready, what you can do, you can just follow the step from here. But what I did, I already downloaded this, so I just click on the launcher. So when you download it, you're going to double click on the launcher, which is something like this. So you double click on that, you're going to see that it's giving you some like an installer right there. So it takes some few minutes to get ready. So just wait for a minute. Okay, so it's asking for your permission here. You click allow. Now from there, I'm just going to read and just click continue. Read me, so it gives some information there. You can read that. Click continue. The license agreement, so you have to agree to this license agreement in order to install this piece of software. So just click continue. It's going to ask if you agree to the license agreement. If you don't agree, there's no way you can install that, but in my case I just agreed, so you have to agree. So there's giving me option here. So I want to install it on the disk, so I click on the disk, and then on this one, Macintosh HT. So you have to select where you want to the hard drive that you want to select to install there. Then you click on continue. So when you click on continue, if you're going to get to this level, so you click install. So it's going to ask for your password. So it's the password of your computer. So basically it's trying to ask you if you allow this to be installed on your computer. You just type your password. So I don't want to install again because I already have that. I'm just click cancel. But for your case, if you don't have it, Anaconda, just type your password there, then you click OK. So I cancel that. So in this option, it's going to give you some option. If you don't have a Python, for instance, installed in your computer already, it may give you some option here to select to install Python or not. Especially on Windows, it gives you provide all those information here, so you can choose to install or not to install Python there. So when you get that, you click, sorry, it was my phone ringing. So you click continue, and it's going to give you installer. So in my case, it doesn't work because I already installed that. So I'm just going to close that. So sorry, someone is keep calling me here. So I'm just going to close that, and then I click close. Now when I close that, so what I can do, I can go on. So in this case, I assume that you already have Anaconda installed, right? So we saw how to install Anaconda. So when that is done, you go on launcher, the launch application of the Mac OS is somewhere here. You click that launch, or you can search for Anaconda there. So when you click on launch, it's going to give you this page. So right, you have a lot of piece of software here. You can say you have Anaconda Navigator here. You double click on that, then it's open this window, right? So from here you can launch Jupyter Lab, you can launch Jupyter Notebook, you can launch PyCharm, you can launch RStudio. So in this case you can see that we have a launch here, right? We have some launch there. And you can also choose to install a new package, right? If I want to install, so I just click on install. If I want to install, I just click install. But you can see that for this one, for example, Jupyter Notebook is already installed, so I just have to launch it. So when I click on launch, it's going to take a few minutes before it launch. Just wait for a few minutes when it launch, and you have to make sure that you have access to the internet, because this is it's going to open on the browser. It's going to open your default browser. If you select let's say Google Chrome as your default browser, it's going to open on Google Chrome. Yes, or if you select Safari as a default browser, going to open on Safari. So my default browser is Google Chrome, so it's open on Google Chrome. So you can see that I have the Jupyter Notebook is already running here. So for my desktop, I can have access to my desktop folder. This is my desktop. I can have access to my document. There's many parts here that I can choose. Let's say I have a code that's on my desktop. For instance, this is my desktop. If I click that, I have a code there that I call sum. I have some code here, sum, which is a Jupyter Notebook sum, Jupyter Notebook code. If I open that, you're going to see that this basically compute the sum of two numbers, right? So that's the code that I have there, right? So let me just print something on that sum, on that code. The file is empty for now. I can just write 4 plus 4, 4 plus 3, then shift enter, it give me 7. I can write a function. If I say A equal to 5, then B equal to 6, then I say define a function after def, a function that computes the sum. It takes two integers A and B, then a print return A plus B. So that function return the sum of two integers, right? So if I say sum of A plus B, which are the A and B that we have up there, it gives me the same, the sum of A plus B. So 6 plus 4, it gives me 10, right? So that's the code that computes the sum. So that's how you write the code on Jupyter Notebook. Now let me close this leave page. So if I go back to, so this code is still running. So the way to stop that, you can see the green, it means that it's running. I can just click on that. I click on this box, then shut down, right? It stopped running. So again, this on my desktop, I can go back again to the initial page. So I go back there. I can create a new folder. So you can see that, just click the new folder icon to go back on the main menu. To create a new folder, I can just come here and say new. Then I can say new folder. By default, it's going to give me a name. So new folder. You can see that there's a certain name here, folder. So 2 hours ago, 2 seconds ago, so it's this one. I can rename it by clicking on this. So when I click there, then I say rename. Then I call this they change the name to, I can change the name to my new folder. My new folder, right? Yeah. So I said rename. So you can see this is my new folder, right? It's there. Now yeah, it's this one, my new folder. So it's just, you can see the time is like a 2 second echo. So is this the folder that I just created? I can open that folder and write a script there and create a Python file there. So let's say I double click on that on my new folder. I can go in. You can see there's some dot here, right? If you click on this, there's some option here, right? But I don't want to go into this detail. Just go back there. Yeah, just go back on my new folder. Was this one, right? Yeah, my new folder, which was this one. So what I can do, the folder is currently empty. I can create a Python file, a Jupyter Notebook file there. So I go there and then say new. Initially we saw how to create a folder. Now I can say new Python file. It's going to be Python 3 file. I just click there, right? And then it's going to give me the option to create a new folder there. So I can rename it, then rename. To rename, what I did, I just click on this part. By default, it's just use this name. I can just click there. that's going to give me the option to rename. I just call it my code 1, right? I just call it my code 1, and usually I prefer to use the underscore here. That's better. So rename. You can see that the name changed to my code 1 here, so I can do some computation here. I can do like print my code 1, and then shift return, print the result, right? I can set a equal to 6, b equal to 7, then I say a minus b. So this is just some basic. You can do a lot of things there, right? So that's how you run it. Now if I go back again on my folder, you're going to see that my new folder, that code is there. So basically I create that code there. I can again shut it down by clicking here and then shut down, right? Then if I want to go to the main menu, I just click here, this icon. You can see that's bring me to the main menu. Now if I want to access a code that's already on my desktop, I can just click. Let's say that code is on my desktop. I just click on desktop here, and my sum, the code that's my desktop, this is my sum. You can look at the extension. This is like a Jupyter Notebook extension, a Python Jupyter Notebook extension is IPYNB, right? It's the code there, and that's the code that we have there, right? So if I do 3 plus 6, I just print that, and then I can save there. So when I save it, if I go back to my desktop, and then I can shut it down again, shut down, then close this sum, okay, cancel, try to start now. So if I close this sum, right, I close it, and then come here, I shut it down, right, I shut down. Then if I click again, you're going to see that it's basically that the code, because I save it. Now you have the same code there. So that's how you basically create download Anaconda, and how you do start Jupyter Notebook on Anaconda. Now there's another option that you can use to start Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to access to the same code, have access to the same code that I have on my desktop. So let me just put all this down. If I go on my desktop, okay, you can see on my desktop I have this code here, my sum, which is the Jupyter Notebook Python file. So how to access that? So one way to do that is you can use a terminal. The way I do is, let's say this terminal is the one that's running. I can use go on terminal and say new shell, new window, open a new window. You can just, if I didn't have this window open, this one wasn't open, I can just go on terminal and just open a new terminal and then go there. So from there, I move to a location where I have the actual code that I'm trying to open on Jupyter Notebook. So you have to be a compatible code, that a code basically that you can open on Jupyter Notebook. Like in this case, if it's just py, you cannot open it because that's just a Python file. But in order to be open to the notebook, you have to be IPYNB, right? Like this, with this extension. So I'm going to move to that location from my terminal. So what I do cd, then I do desktop. So on my desktop, if I do ls, you can see that I have all the files that are on my desktop, right? You can see that we have that file somewhere there. It's this one, right? It's there. That's the code that I'm trying to open on Jupyter Notebook. So the way when I move to that location, the location that contains that code, I just type Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook, right? Then enter. Oh, it's yeah, there was a mistake there. Then enter, right? So when I type enter, it's going to take some time. You can see that it's launching here. When it's launched, it open it on my default browser. So you can see that that's the code that I'm trying to run. So I can just open it there. Then I have access to my code. Then I can interpret it, and yeah, you have it here, right? So you can see that it's there.